Okay, needless to say, it was a great day for us. Shoot 63% for the game and only have 8 turnovers. It was a good bounce back from a very disappointing game Wednesday night. We felt like, as I said, after the press conference, or at the press conference Wednesday night, I thought we did some good things over there, but Duke made bigger plays down the stretch. People were worried about the carryover. I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about having enough players to dress out, and that was my biggest concern. But we got things going for us, and it sort of snowballed against Georgia Tech. They've played so many games. I think they have 9 games where with 1 minute left in the game, they were within 1 possession, 7 of the 9, and the other 2 was 4 points. And they ended up having 9 losses out of those games, so it sort of snowballed on today. And we made some shots, got them to miss some, and got the ball going up and down the court at a speed that we really like. They try to come out running us, and they've done a great job of that all year, and they hurt us early, and then we did a better job of getting back. But just caught them on a good day, and a good day for us. And we feel very fortunate to have played the way we did.
First possession, 4 corners. Obviously, a tribute to Coach Smith is also fitting. You got a layup out of it.
Very much so. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time, for 2 weeks anyway. Some way to do something that would mean a great deal to him, would mean a great deal to me. And I thought that was it worked out great. You know, I was hoping they would be man-to-man, but if they weren't, we were going to hold it for 20 seconds, just standing out there with everybody holding up 4. I was a little disappointed that more of our crowd didn't have more savvy, but I felt like they were asleep most of the day anyway, so it was about all right. And that's not intended to be criticism, but it's criticism. We need some dadgum help. We go on the road and we're playing, and people's like screaming like banshees or something. And today it was like every time I yelled at a player, they turned around and looked at me. I yelled at a player Wednesday night, and they never knew I was even over there frickin' yelling. They thought I was doing exercises. So if you want to act like I'm chastising the fans, just tell them to come in and invest. Come in and invest. We need some help when we come play back here. We've been on the road 4 out of 5 games and come back, and Joel couldn't play. We didn't know if we were going to have Bryce, and we need some help. So show up with your lungs rested on. When do we play again?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Everybody's in the locker room. Well, no, because all my coaches agreed with me. Steve's trying to get me to calm down, but we need some more support. My gosh. We're trying to honor the greatest coach I've ever, and maybe one of the greatest individuals I've ever known, and I can understand if you didn't recognize it because it sort of went quickly. And it was nice at a backdoor layup, but don't sit over there and feel like we have to entertain you. This is a team thing. Now, does anybody want to ask more questions about the game? But I've got off that soapbox.
How much have you guys practiced the 4 corners? That's how long you guys been doing that?
I'm such a great coach. We walked through it one time yesterday, and I guarded Marcus. That's it. I drew it up on the board. We had some people watching practice yesterday, and I waited. We went in the locker room, waited 5 minutes till everybody left, and went back out to make sure nobody was there because I wanted it to be something very sincere from our team, the University of North Carolina basketball team, to Coach Dean Smith. And so we didn't want anybody sending out a dadgum Twitter or fax or whatever the dickens would go on today. I wanted it to be something for my team to Coach Smith, and that worked out great.
You said you almost didn't have Bryce. What was the issue? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dion.
No, go.
You said it means something to you as well. Can you just elaborate on that?
Well, that guy on that screen right there behind you, John Thompson one time said that Coach Smith shared with him the knowledge. That's the greatest thing you can have, and that's what Coach gave me. Gave me his knowledge, gave me his chance, used to get me to try things on the JV team, see how they worked, and then we'd try it on the varsity. Needless to say, when I went to Kansas, and now we got I think it was a 45-second clock. When I first got there, we didn't play 4 corners very much, and he called me one night and asked me about it. And I said, Coach, I love it too, but my team's better right now just running the dickens out of it. And so we didn't do much of it after the 45-second clock, and then it went down to 35, and we do almost none of it. So it's, I think he knows that I honor him, and he knows that for 64 years I've tried to make him proud, but that was just a way of Roy Williams saying thank you.
Coach, can you?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
Steve answered my question.
Okay.
How much do you feel like the team now has, in these last 2 weeks, has kind of, you know, learned more about Coach Smith and even embraced it since a lot of them were just keep going?
Yeah, they didn't know too much about him, to say the least, except me talking about him all the time. But you know, I think you should talk about your experiences, especially when they're positive and special. And so they've learned a lot more. But then the last 2 weeks has been much more educational for them, and they understand. And most of them didn't know about all the stuff off the court, and so they've learned about that now. And the significance of what he did for basketball and the type of individual he was, always putting the players first. You know, John Calipari's using that now, but it started with Coach Smith, and John would tell you that himself. I think he even wrote an article about it. But so I think they know more about it right now, and it's something that they should know more about.
Coach, can you, in terms of today's game, can you help us appreciate why we should just look at the win and say it was just Georgia Tech?
Why you shouldn't do that?
Why we should not just say it was just Georgia Tech?
It's the ACC, and it's a marathon. It's a marathon that's run uphill for 26 miles. If you do that, you're not doing justice to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's had some tough games. Like I said earlier, they've also had some, they go to Miami and beat Miami. They had Duke. It was a 6-point game. No, excuse me, it was a 4-point game within the last minute and a half. So I don't think you're being fair to Georgia Tech's team. I think Brian's done a really nice job with his team, and those kids work awfully hard, and this is the ACC. And if you want to say it's just Georgia Tech, it's your right too.
Six guys. Good. Not to get you back on your soapbox, but
yeah.
Why today? Why bring it up? The concerns about the atmosphere. What is it about? What made you kind of?
I haven't noticed it all year, but today, I mean, guys, usually when I'm on the road and I'm yelling, they have to be able to read my lips from 65 feet. And I mean, did you guys feel like it was really lively out there today? Now, be honest.
No.
Okay. All right. And we've been gone. It's not like we had a home game 2 days ago and 2 days before that and 2 days before that. And they'll criticize me, and that's fine because I'm telling the truth. But I've never thought that this year. I really haven't. And you know, we lost to Notre Dame, we lost to Iowa, we lost to Virginia. So we lost 3 home games. I like the home venues to be so demanding that it's really a positive for you. But even in those games that we lost, I thought the crowd was fine. Have I even said anything behind closed doors? No, I haven't. But I thought it was, and maybe the occasion of Coach Smith, maybe that had something to do with it too. And you know, but I can tell you one guy that was disappointed in it. That guy right up there, he would have been disappointed in our crowd. We always talked about, you know, let's hope the crowd's in it, but we got to do our part. Well, you know, we need some help. You know, and let's put it this way. Look, am I 100% sure I'm correct? No, because I can make mistakes. But by God, I think 99. You know, because I mean, I'm yelling out there today, Joel. You know, I mean, most of the time they can't hear what I'm saying.
6 guys in double figures today. Is there anything in particular that led to that balance? And in that context, how good was it to see Justin be that aggressive again?
Well, the biggest thing, 26 assists and 38 baskets. We kept talking about sharing the ball. And I think that we did that. And when you do that and you have some guys, and then, you know, guys played perhaps more minutes too because we were down. Joel, he got sick last night, started throwing up. He was in the hospital this morning getting IVs. Bryce woke up this morning. He's sick. He's in the hospital getting IVs. You know, so it was we really wanted to share the basketball, and we talked a lot more about that even because we've got to try to move it. Not just one guy, but I think the games that we've played well this year, we have shared the basketball.
Coach Gregory's ready. So one last question, if there is one.
In some ways, Roy, is this team at all playing for Coach Smith like the rest of this way?
I don't sense that. We haven't talked about that at all. We've talked about everybody in this room, let's play for each other. We've talked about being emotionally, physically, mentally involved, invested. And, you know, and I think that the story, you know, I know what's going to happen is everybody's going to make the biggest deal, me criticizing the fans. That's your part. The biggest story to me is that North Carolina bounced back a little bit after a very disappointing loss. That's the biggest story. We played pretty well. That's a good story. The other stuff about the fans, it's just, you know, it's a good thing about the United States. You get to say what you want to say, and it's freedom of speech. But it's, you know, I don't think that they're playing for Coach Smith. I think that we have some goals ourselves for this team. Again, I mean, 18 years ago he stopped coaching, so you know, the oldest guy on my team was 3 years old or something like that.